Welcome back, everybody. It's Mr. Reality, and I'm here with psychic medium Liz Cross. Liz, how are you feeling?
Oh, great. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. We just talked to the Sycamore Gap tree, and I thought we could visit the proximal wall next to the wall made by Hadrian in Britannia in 122 AD and find out from Hadrian himself what's going on, if he's why he built this giant wall.
Why did you build this giant wall? But it wasn't just him.
Well, I'm sure he didn't do it himself. He probably had people for that. I mean, he's, an emperor. He didn't have time to go around building walls. He's got folks for that.
Why did you build the wall? It was more about like demarcation lines to show which areas were his and which areas were not his.
How did he come in to be an emperor? What was that previous lifetime like to get to the emperor stage of incarnation?
Have you been an emperor? I think he's been an emperor before. Before you were Hadrian. Yes, he's been several emperors.
Can I be an emperor?
Oh, well, we'll put the order in.
Okay. Yeah. Let's talk to the programmer. Let them know next time. Looking for an emperorship, if there are any available. So, what was his background like? What was his life like?
What was your life like as Hadrian? It was magnificent. He loved being Hadrian. He had a lot of wealth. He had a lot of luxurious food, women aplenty, he says. People did pretty much whatever he wanted them to do. He had great command and great strength. He had a wonderful life, according to him.
What was his sole mission going into the emperorship as Hadrian?
What was the soul mission? It really was about the this evolution of the UK. There was a lot of fighting, there was a lot of war, a lot of confusion over areas. Um, he believes that at the time, the native people in the UK were very unsophisticated, very poverty stricken, very uneducated. He calls them quite primitive. They really did they have a language? I mean, their language is very primitive, he's saying. Did they have anything written? No. Did they have oral history? Oral history, yes, but the language was very broken. And he said you could go 5 miles down the road and it's a completely different language. So it was all about trying to unite and bring people together in a larger area.
Did he use any like seers or any sort of psychics or prophets during his reign?
Hmm. Did you use any seers? All the time. Oh, all the time. He used them to see if there was any impending war, doom and gloom, weather forecasts. Did you use psychics to predict the weather? Yes, they did.
How accurate were they? And if they were inaccurate, were they put to the sword, or did you keep them around? Because
How
ours aren't that good here, telling us what the weather's going to be like.
right. You mean even with all the technology that they
Yeah,
have?
they don't
Yeah.
know nothing.
So were they usually accurate? He says very accurate. I mean, they were a source of power for people like him, an essential part of rule, he says.
What about his friendship? How do you kind of manage having friends when you're the emperor? Are there people always, trying to get something from you? Do you have any genuine friendships? I know you were kind of estranged from your wife, but what did friendship look like as a an emperor?
What did friendship look like as an emperor? He had one confidant, and that was, I feel, a relative of his. I feel that it was a brother who was his confidant. They
And
were
what
they
did
were
they
the
talk
best.
about?
What did you talk about? Everything, mostly women.
Well, that's not really much of a friendship. Is there any way that you can change your soul family while you're incarnated, or do you have to wait and get up and above to get out of your soul family, or are you stuck with them and you have to resolve the karmic debts that are there?
Mhm. Stuck with his soul family. He loves his soul family, by the way. So
Okay.
he doesn't mind being in that soul family. He finds them to be extremely beneficial. They all work very well together. They don't actually use one another to bring hardship in the immediate family. They're more concerned with, accomplishments. So it looks like his soul family have it pretty much put together very well.
Pretty
Which,
coasting if you're, triple time an emperor.
well, yeah. I mean, did you have like, childhood problem? No, he's saying no, I didn't have childhood problems. That soul, our soul family has evolved well past that, well past the family trauma. That's sort of low level stuff, he says.
How did he resolve that? Because, 2000 years ago, we're kind of all still battling with that in our own family, aren't we?
How did you resolve that? They resolved that long before his lifetime as Hadrian. They resolved that in tribal days. There was no point in having trauma at the foundations. Trauma had to come from battlegrounds, seeing, your military, your people getting killed, killing people. That was the trauma that they were into, not immediate family trauma.
Yeah, killing people, you mentioned. I imagine as an emperor, you probably killed some people back then. Is your karmic debt paid up from now, or do you still have some amends to make from the people that you murdered a couple thousand years ago?
Is your karmic debt paid up from now? No, no, he'll be paying back that karmic debt for many, many lifetimes to come yet.
What does karmic debt look like mathematically, according to Hadrian?
What does karmic debt look like mathematically? It looks like your balance sheet is in the hole.
Okay.
Deficit.
And when we're talking to Hadrian now, we're talking to a hologram of him, right? Are we talking to his whole soul or just one aspect of that soul?
Ooh, are we talking to your whole soul? No, just one aspect of that soul.
And how much of his soul does he feel that he knows if he's in the afterlife now?
How much of your soul do you feel that you know? He feels he knows his soul very well. He feels very accomplished as Hadrian. He thinks that he has come a long way. How many incarnations do you have left? He doesn't really have a lot of incarnations left. I feel he's quite high up on the ascension ladder.
How many incarnations as a human?
Well, from now, not when he was Hadrian. So from now, how many incarnations? Ooh, see, I knew that. He's about 700.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
And is he incarnated presently?
Are you incarnated presently? No.
What was the so he's not aware of all of his souls or all of his incarnations. I don't want to miss say that. As if he were incarnated now, how much of his soul could he truly know in one incarnation?
Um, you are incarnated. So if he was incarnated now, how much of the soul could you truly know? You wouldn't know any of it, really, just what you feel. But for him, he feels deeply connected to his soul. Um, so he says he's more connected than most people.
How did he get that? What did he do? What were the actions that he took, either back in ancient tribal times or recently, to get more in touch with his soul? And can we do that while we're down here?
Oh, how did you accomplish that? Really, that connection to the soul? Yeah, he has a very deep connectivity, but I also feel a lot of his lifetimes did not evolve around technology
Hmm.
because he's saying to me, technology is, in a lot of cases, you folks listening are the minority, right? In most cases, technology is a tool to disconnect you from your soul instead of reconnect you. It depends what you're using it for.
People could say the same of your wall, that it really brought people apart, didn't bring them together, but kind of technology. Um, does he suggest anything that we can do while we're down here on the Earth plane? Maybe distance ourselves from technology, and what else can we do to really get more in tune and interconnected with our own self?
Do to get more in connection with our own self. Well, you have to search down in your soul and find out who you really are, he says. He always has such a very strong sense of soul being. He knows he is more than just he portrays himself to be in every lifetime. He is very much like the soul is in charge. He's very respectful to his soul. In more recent lifetimes, he's used meditation to achieve those connections or to even converse with his soul. So he uses different modalities, is what he's saying to me. And it can be done. You just have to work very, very hard at doing so.
Does he have a connection, or can he see the listenership, the audience that you have here on YouTube, this mechanism? Does
Can
he
you
understand that?
see the audience? Yes, he's in full awareness.
So can he see like somebody specifically in the audience that may be having any issue, and can he suggest how they could benefit themselves? Maybe anyone out there listening, like maybe more of a generality, but if he can see the listeners that you have.
Yes. How is he connected to the listeners?
Yeah.
He loves the listeners. I mean, he actually connects with those on a lower income spectrum. He's saying that he is glad that even though they're suffering financially, they're still trying to do their work and grow their soul and do their ascension, and they're still sticking to a spiritual journey. He says people take wealth for granted and they think they're immune to growing their soul. They're just so focused on the here and now. They're not as spiritual, according to Hadrian, as people that are suffering financially.
And so some like meditation, what are some monumental meditations that he think people could seek out that might help them get more in tune with that deeper soul connection? Because he said we can't do it when we're incarnated. So how can we do it while we're incarnated to get a better, deeper understanding of us?
How can we get a better, deeper? Understanding what type of meditations. Well, basically connecting to the soul meditations, letting go of the consciousness, having conversations with your soul, meeting your soul in a mutual place, like at the beach, or create a room where you always meet your soul, and you and your soul can go there and discuss things and just show deep appreciation for one another.
Is he still connected with the same soul family he had as Hadrian?
Yes, always.
Is there any way to circumvent that or skirt it, or do you always have to fix those karmic issues that you've got with the soul family before you can move on? Because we've found in past in probes there are foundlings as might come through as a newborn, stillbirth, and they come through and just move in, move out quickly.
Um,
Like orphan souls are there? How many? What percentage are the souls are orphaned up there in the afterlife that come through for a lesson?
what percentage of souls are orphaned in the afterlife? Ooh, gosh, about 20%. But he's talking specifically about those that, come down for a very short period of time, like miscarriages,
Hmm.
um, crib deaths, things like that.
So,
Um,
in the last 40 years or so, our population on Earth of humans has doubled. Where is that? Where are those new souls coming in from? Is there like an animal tract, or are they coming in from another primordial source? Can you tell us?
oh, where are they coming in from? Well, they were already in existence, but they've just graduated through the ranks, like
Hmm.
from, you know, aquatic, bird lifetimes, insects, primate, into human lifetimes.
But the pre-life, the pre-tract, is it always the same to come into humans? I mean, we've had horses, we've had gorillas, we've had a couple other incarnations that are going to come through as a human. Is there one single track, or is it always in the animal kingdom? And because, well, let's start there.
So is it always like a certain track that, yes, usually it is. Okay. So we don't have people that are just, a soul is created and bam, they're human. That is
Okay.
very rare.
They come from animals. Is
They
it?
have usually had thousands of lifetimes here on the planet before they graduate into the level of consciousness as a human. Because when you get into the human lifetimes, I mean, this is serious business as far as like designing them is concerned, emotions are concerned. The story of each individual human is extremely serious.
Does he connect with any ascended masters on the other side?
Hmm. He's not too fond of them. He is for the struggling souls. He very much aligns himself to those that struggle.
Hmm. Does he feel that a soul family can benefit or can help people while they're down on the earth plane? And how can they do that if they can?
Hold that question. So is the reason that you like to gel with people that are struggling, is that like elitist of you so that you're, more than they are? I mean,
Oh,
it
yeah.
is a bit of elitist, is what I'm getting. Okay, so how does the soul family help you? Well, the soul family agrees to bring in these lessons, and they can be good or bad, but I'm saying so many people struggle with their soul families. They have terrible, terrible times with the soul families, and they're looking for ways. And yes, I know we are going to do that probe really soon, about the protocol to change your soul family. I'm saying a lot of them are struggling to change their soul family. Now, see, what he's saying is, well, you should just stick with it. And I'm saying, but yes, in an ideal world, you've got a great soul family that you've all worked out these problems. But a lot of people are growing in their consciousness and they can't seem to move forward because the soul family is holding them back. So, what do you say to those people? Well, he can understand their plight. He says, well, then you've got to let go. But he believes it's better, better the devil you know than the devil you don't. He thinks that you should make adjustments to the soul family that you already have instead of trying to find out an entirely new one.
Hmm. Has he met any guides or angels in his afterlife hangings out?
Have you met any guides or angels? Yes, all the time.
What would most surprise us about one of the higher angelic forms he's met?
That they're just like you and me.
Did they have an incarnation as a human and then moved on?
They have incarnations as you. Yes. Yes, they're just regular, regular souls. Do they possess special powers? I mean, they heal. It always people call upon the angels all the time.
Right.
And I'm wondering, like, just like Archangel Michael, Jesus, they get tired. They only have so much energy to go around. Is that the same for the angelic realm? I mean, it is. So who would it be? I mean, do they help? I mean, they are very helpful. He says they are extremely helpful to the best of their ability. Um, the best thing you can do is to heal yourself.
And that ripples out to your soul family, gives them healing?
Does that ripple out to the soul family? It does, and it also gives them a firm belief system that miracles do happen.
Did he have any incarnations in Atlantis or Lemuria at 700 human lifetimes?
Do you have any incarnations of Atlantis or Lemuria? No.
Any off planet?
Any off planet? No.
How many lifetimes does he try to plan ahead? Is it just the next one, or is it like the next 20, 30 ones he's planning?
Do you try to plan ahead? Just the next one.
And when's he coming back? What's he going to be?
When are you coming back? I don't feel his reincarnation is too far off in the future. So about 15 years from now. And where are you going to go? Are you going to be in Europe? No. I feel like he's going to be in South America.
What's he going to do?
What are you going to do? He's going to be some sort of leader. Are you going to be a
Again?
political
Come
leader?
on. I can't catch a
Yeah,
break.
I feel like he's going to be a political leader. Brazil.
And what plans does he have for the unification or, I don't know, destruction of the South American continent?
He definitely wants to. Are you going to unify? He definitely wants to. So he's saying that when he takes power, there's going to be so much corruption, so much financial fraud. The country, will be really struggling. It's in ruins, and he's going to be leader of Brazil for a very long time. And he's going to try and bring it into like a first world country, is what he's saying.
Will he be successful at that, or is that just the plan and might fail?
Will he be successful? I mean, sort of is what I'm getting. There something like this would need generations of the same thought process in order to turn something around.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Liz, and thank you, Hadrian, each of you out there. I appreciate you. I wanted to put this up here. If you're not a member of Liz's Patreon, you can go to her backup channel, which is youtube.com consciousness transformation 765. Make sure you subscribe there too so you can follow us if things go south.
Yeah, really. So people are still getting their channels ripped down for God knows what. So always make sure you're subscribed to the backup channel. And don't forget, Mr. Reality, he put this together all by himself, and it was a great probe. Thank you. He does have a tip jar listed down below. So thank you
Thanks so
very
much.
much.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.